Intermedium's the 5-4 favourite here. Runners making their way down to the start. Al Muhalab 7-2, being back. Interesting betting market already. This is a race that sees two horses who have already seen a race course. They are Intermedium and Prairie Prize. Intermedium finished second on debut. The rest of the horses are making their race course debuts, but there's some decent pedigrees on show and there's some moves in the market as well, notably for Al Muhalab for Charlie Hills and Paul Hannigan 7-2 from 9-2. It shapes up pretty well as a race.
Yeah, the race I'm most looking forward to seeing today. I think it's always nice when you get two-year-olds first time out. It's very difficult to know exactly how the race is going to be run, what's likely to happen, but that's the challenge we face. Intermedium justifiably at the head of the market, and I thought Al Muhalab was a big price earlier considering the entries that are ahead of him. Entered in the Royal Lodge, Racing Post Trophy and of course the Derby. And 7-2 is probably about right now. This had a horrible drift on Hanno, which is slightly surprising. I didn't think he'd go out to be that big. He's also one of 3 Dunlop horses entered in the Racing Post Trophy, one of which Red Galileo runs later on, I believe. And God willing, the other one was a debut winner at Newbury last week. I can thank Eddie Fremantle for his column in the Post on that today. And in Intermedium, I'm not sure if we're going to see it, was a bit messy on debut, I thought, drawn very wide, very slowly away, and then here we go, suddenly, so he was slowly away, but this is just after he's made a bit of a bolt to the front, on the bridle, looks to be going very nicely indeed, looks a strong, powerful runner, but you can just see coming through here Festival Theatre, who also holds a Derby entry, just finds a little bit more over this trip and wears down Intermedium, who may have just got to the front a little bit too soon. But I think the form of that run justifies his presence at the head of the market for this.
11-10. What do you make of the value there? Is there value there?
I think there is. Yeah, I'm happy with anything bigger than evens. Festival Theatre had the benefit of a run last time, and like I say, Intermedium may have just got a bit lazy when he got to the front. I think the trip's right at this stage. No concerns at coming onto turf for the first time, and is well worth another chance. He's a half-brother to 6 furlong to a mile winner Galician, of course, the Johnston filly. So he should be at the head of the market. Al Muhalab, obviously really excited to see how he runs. Charlie Hills is only 7 from 69 in 2-year-old maidens this year, but we don't need to read too much into that. Very well bred, of course. Dan was the 1,000 Guineas winner in 2009 and second in the Sun Chariot Stakes, and she was a half-sister to 1 mile 4 Group 3 winner Moatique. So very, very well bred, and looking forward to seeing her first time on course. Hanno is at 12-1 there, and I do think that Hanno should be a little bit shorter. So if I was going to look for an each-way bet, that would probably be it. Certainly a preference for Hanno over Dumas, the other Ed Dunlop runner.
Hanno's at 12-1, a son of Henry the Navigator out of Archstone, who, as Tom's already alluded to, is entered in the Racing Post Trophy. One-man band was a little bit keen. You see Red Cat far side of shot there, just going out of the shot. A little bit keen going down to the start. You see Hanno in the green silks for Ed Dunlop and Jim Crowley. And his 2-year-olds are already well. You mentioned God willing, you mentioned Red Galileo, who we'll see a little bit later on. So
4:20 at York, I think Red Galileo runs. So
and he ran really well. I was at Newmarket when he ran on debut. He's got a good chance there.
Yeah, ran really well.
What did you make of Prairie Prize? Because the only other one to have experience going into this race for David Ellsworth and William Carson, finished sort of mid-div in a course and distance maiden.
Yeah, I mean, average is the only word I can really think of, and that's not meaning to be negative about the run at all. It just was not very eye-catching. He was a little bit shorter room, in fairness, and I think further will suit. So I would swerve for now over 7 furlongs, 8th of 12 in a contest which I don't think looked stronger than this. And of the 2 horses that have run, Intermedium and Prairie Prize, even at the prices, I understand Prairie Prize is out 14-1, but I'd rather be on Intermedium at 6-5, who should come on for that experience and showed a lot more on debut.
Intermedium's dam is a broodmare called Guinera, who sired, who bred in Australia a horse called Allow, who won the Queensland Oaks, a Group 1, and won it well and got very good form in Australia. She was a champion in Australia. So she's got a very good page, Intermedium. She's by the speedy Australian Sire Exceed and Excel. McKelvar's loaner on board. And the Godolphin team, who have had such a good time of it at York, are looking for their first winner at Newmarket. We've mentioned Hannah, who is a massive drifter, out to 16-1 from 15-2. So very alarming, that drift on Hannah. He is entered in the Racing Post Trophy. He may very well go and win, but certainly worth pointing out, just the big drift on Hannah.
Well, it's difficult. How do you react to a drift like that with a 2-year-old making a racecourse debut? And my instinct is steer clear. Now,
yeah.
if you haven't got your money on already and you're looking to make a choice, it's difficult to react to a market like that. But when they haven't shown anything before, that would put me off. Ultimately, a drift from what was it?
Even though
15-2
out to 16-1,
yeah.
Even though all known facts, the Racing Post Trophy entry has led you to before say he could be valued. Listen, we don't have too long to talk about it. Stuart Machin will call him home. We'll discuss after.
They're off. Racing over 7 furlongs. Dooman from a high draw, reared slightly coming from the stalls. Red Cap on the far side, but was away a little bit quicker over there than Hanno in the black and green, slightly sluggish. It appeared to be a steady pace, though, through the first furlong of this British Stallion Studs EBF Maiden Stakes, and Intermedium in the all-blue races prominently, with Dooman recovering from that awkward start and the white-faced Al Muhalab right on terms. Rathili is away to the left. Prairie Prize with a pale blue cap tracking the leaders, with Bon Voyage Richard Hughes in a dark jacket, and then Hanno, the rail track by the grey crafty exit, hands up in a beige and brown jacket towards the midfield from Learaig. Is Stick Sharp white cap, only got a couple behind at this stage. Alex Vino a little on and off the bridle, and one-man band rounding out the Godolphin trio is last of all. Passing the halfway point, Intermedium disputing it with Dooman, Al Muhalab making a line of 3, and then Prairie Prize shaken up on their tails. Hanno and Bon Voyage both looking for a bit of daylight. Hands up and crafty exit and X from Alex Vino. Learaig is Stick Sharp. A one-man band has edged out into the middle of the track, and Rathili has dropped right away. Quickening now for the foot of the climb, a furlong and a half to go. Intermedium with Al Muhalab tongue lolling out. Learaig quickening up well down the centre and coming with a chorus skating run to sweep through and grab the lead. Learaig here under Pat Cosgrave. Bon Voyage is moving up to give chase. The shadows of the post are looming. Learaig driven out from Bon Voyage, and Learaig makes a winning debut for Lady Cecil. Bon Voyage in second. Alex Vino ran on well into third, and then hands up and late gains for Stick Sharp.
Really impressive debut there by Learaig for Lady Cecil and Pat Cosgrave, and has seen off Bon Voyage, returned at 33-1. Has got an entry in the Champagne Stakes, is from a powerful stable, making his debut, sent off at 33-1, but he's won in fine style. Bon Voyage in second. The front two have pulled clear of Alex Vino, who did his best work late on debut for Sir Michael Stout and Kieran Fallon. Hands up on debut for William Knight, and Luke Morris in the red cap beige silks has run well in fourth. And Iktishaf, again, same comments apply, best work late on to finish fifth, I believe, and they've pulled clear of the market leader Intermedium, who was a little bit disappointing. In truth, the way Learaig's won, Intermedium would have needed to have improved quite considerably on his debut effort to see Learaig off, because he's won in the style, and it is early days, we are aware of that, but he's won in the style visually of a very talented horse.
That was massively impressive. I mean, here's the thing: when you have a hot favourite like Intermedium, who's gone out and run well before behind an improver who has got a decent entry and had the benefit of the run, you then, and I did, think Intermedium is worth supporting, having had the benefit of a run coming into this. However, that these sort of horses are susceptible, especially in a race like this with only two of the field having run before, to a racecourse first timer like Learaig, who goes out and absolutely hacks up. Yes, he has a Champagne Stakes entry. Lady Cecil has sent out only 6 2-year-olds since she took over at Warren Place, and is yet to have a winner. So that's a pretty good first one, you'd have to say. And that's mightily impressive. Just as absolutely blown away what looks like a pretty quality field under Pat Cosgrave there.
It was a turn of foot when he's moved up on the outside.